Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Highland High School Auditorium. Before tonight's performance, we'd like to offer the following audience etiquette reminders. First, please turn off all pagers, cell phones, and any other electronic devices that may cause noise and distraction during the performance. Second, for the safety of the performers, there should be no flash photography. Third, so as not to cause noise and distraction, we ask that you only enter and exit the auditorium in breaks between songs. Finally, we remind you that food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium, and that smoking is strictly prohibited anywhere on our campus. And now will you please rise for our national anthem as presented by the Highland High School Advanced Vocal Ensemble.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and rockets reckless above bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much for joining us at our concert tonight. My name is Stevenson. I'm the director of choirs here. I hope that you've seen me at some point on YouTube through this year. We are so glad that we are able to offer a live audience this evening to these great students, and that we are in a position now where things are getting better and we can actually have people in the room with us. For those of you watching at home on YouTube, this performance has been split up into two different portions. The first performance, which is beginning right now at 6 p.m., features our women's and men's chorale, as well as the Advanced Vocal Ensemble. And the second performance will begin at 8 p.m. Arizona time, of course, and feature the Advanced Women's Chorale, Advanced Vocal Ensemble, and concert choir. Each performance is also going to feature a brief awards segment for each group, and the 8 p.m. performance will feature our traditional senior honors. Both performances can be viewed with the same link, and we encourage you to watch all of the choirs, as there is music for everyone, and each choir has done an awesome job of preparing for tonight's event. I would also like to just remind you that GPS school policy is that masks must be worn indoors at all times. We really, really appreciate you just going along with that, and gosh, in just hopefully a few more weeks or months, even that might change. So thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Please enjoy the women's chorale. Great job. Wow. Wow. Okay. So at the end of the year, we like to present just a few awards to each of the choirs and some specific students who maybe have participated in some things outside of class that are offered as enrichment activities, and they get recognition for that as well. Traditionally, we offer a leadership award in each choir and a most improved award in each choir. And I specifically asked the kids, I was sitting at home trying to figure out who to give it to, and it was really hard. And I asked the kids if it was okay if we didn't do that this year. Because quite frankly, the fact that they've done as well as they have in the middle of all this is magical. I don't know how they've managed it, and I don't know how to pick one or two over all of that. So we're going a little bit of a different tack this year. We're going to add a new award to our process. We have a Section Coach Recognition Award to give this year. Each choir has section coaches in it, older students who've taken the group before, who volunteer their time to come back to the younger group and provide some leadership, act as assistant directors. They help a lot with logistics. They're in and out of the section all day, sort of just helping individuals, and they've noticed some really great work from these gals, and so they each wanted to present an award to someone. So the first thing we'd like to do is recognize our 4 section coaches in this class. When I call your name, please come on down and get your trophy from Miss Nuremberg. Those are Hannah Andrews, Elise Craig, Kai Ferguson, and Lindsay Stevens. And if you could just stay down here, and then you can present your award to the people that you have chosen. So we're very excited that, and I'm sorry, I might get these sections wrong here. We would like to present, the section coaches would like to present their awards to Quinley Dacey, Leilani Pulley, and Emily West this year. Come on down. Thanks for all the great work, gals. Okay, head back. You can just put those on the ground until we're ready to go. Okay, students can letter in any activity, and choirs among those, and that just requires a sort of accrual of 50 points based on activities that they're doing in school and out of school. And it's pretty hard to letter your first year in choir, but we do have one person in this class that has accomplished it. And so please come down and get your letter, Quinlan Barton. And Quinlan, you can stay up here because we're next going to recognize students that made the regional ensemble here in the central region of Arizona. The regional choir is competitive among all of the schools, and there's band and an orchestra as well. And Quinlan made regional choir this year, so congratulations. And then lastly, every other year Highland puts on a musical. Last year our musical was going to be Oklahoma, and then of course the world shut down right before the performance managed to go up, and we weren't able to recognize those students. So we'd like to recognize them this year because it is a long, drawn-out process, and it takes a lot of time. So we had one student in this class that was in our Oklahoma musical last year, and that's Tasia Trukti. Okay, please enjoy our second tune for you. It's a swing tune, On the Sunny Side of the Street.
Okay, just a couple of brief awards in this class. We have the exact same awards for the last class. We'd like to first recognize our two section coaches in men's chorale. They are seniors Joseph Duncan and Aiden Matthews. Please come on down. And they've chosen someone to recognize from each section, and those three people are Carson Blackburn, Eli Griffin, and Eli Kirby. Come on down. Okay, please enjoy this old American spiritual, I'm Just a Poor Wayfaring Stranger.
led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. For you shall go out with joy, be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. Pine trees shall shoot up in place of the camel thorn. Myrtles instead of grass. All this shall win the Lord your great name. The sign for all time. For you shall go out with joy, be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. For you shall go out with joy, be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. Pine trees shall shoot up in place of the camel thorn. Myrtles instead of grass. All this shall win the Lord a great name, a sign for all time. So go out with joy, be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. The mountains and the hills shall break into singing, an everlasting sign to you they are bringing. The mountains and the hills shall break into singing, so be led forth with peace, for you go out with joy. Go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. Go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. Go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth into singing, an everlasting sign to you they all are bringing. The mountains and the hills shall break forth into singing, and all the trees shall clap their hands. You shall go out with joy.
Thank you for your patience as we get our stage reset for our local jazz set. We have just a few announcements for the end of the year. Student uniform return will be this upcoming Monday. Students should return the rented parts of their uniform along with their garment bag with their name tag and hanger. They can drop it off before school begins, or they can do it during their choir hour. Next year's concert choir members have a retreat deposit due in the amount of $65 next Monday as well. Sorry, next Monday, I mean 3 days from now. That was sent out in an email and announced in class, but if this is the first time you've heard about it, those things can be paid through tax credit and Infinite Campus, and on our website, highlandchoir.com, with credit card, or the students can bring in a personal check made out to HHS choir boosters. I would 100% understand missing an email in these times. We've all just been inundated with emails this year. Please, if you do a tax credit, just be sure to email us a receipt so we can credit your student's account. And lastly, our annual Concert Choir Advanced Women's Chorale Tour for next year will be to Washington, D.C. at the end of April. We're very excited about it. We're just waiting for the school board to approve it, and we're off and running. Our first deposit will be due sometime in mid-August. We don't have an exact date for that yet, but as soon as we get approval, we'll start forming those exact dates for you. And we'll also send more information home after that date as well, along with fundraising ideas and payment schedule for that. So please be on the lookout for that as the school year ends. Before we sing our last two songs, I just want to make sure that I say thank you for coming tonight. We're thrilled that you're here. We're thrilled to be singing for a real live audience again. I want to say thank you to specifically all of the parents that help with this program on the booster board. I know at least one of them is here. Carrie Ann Barton, are you here tonight? If you wouldn't mind standing up and just being recognized, we'd like to thank you. I know she's somewhere in here. Oh, she's probably in the lobby getting stuff set up. There she is. Well, thank you, Carrie Ann. We appreciate it. We're going to formally recognize all those booster parents at the next concert, but just thank you to all of you who are here for this performance, and especially to Denise Brown, who is volunteering to run our soundboard for us tonight. Thank you, Denise. We appreciate it. Thank you to the HHS administration for all their support, and especially to Mr. Crane up in the booth who makes us look and sound good. We love you. And lastly, thank you to my wonderful friend and colleague, Kelly Nurnberg, who's probably hiding backstage now that her set is done in this concert. But Kelly, we couldn't do it without you, so thanks so much. Okay, please enjoy the end of our performance here. With Advanced Vocal, we're going to start with a real group tune called Words, and then we're going to end with a Stevie Wonder tune, Don't You Worry About a Thing.
Microphone 1, check 1.
Microphone 2, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 3, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 4, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 5, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 6, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 7, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 9, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 8, 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 check 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Mic 8, mic 8, mic 8.
I don't hear her in the monitor specifically. I'm not sure why. Yeah.
Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3.
Is she up at crossover?
Keep going. Okay, microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Okay. Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 9, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 10, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 11, check 1.
Microphone 12, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 13, check 1. Microphone 14, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 15, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 16, check 1. Microphone 17, check 1.
Microphone 18, check 1, 2.
Microphone 18, check 1.
Microphone 20, check 1.
Microphone 21, check 1. Microphone 22, check 1.
It's a miracle. It all worked.
Let's communicate words, a letter and a letter on a string will hold forever humanity, spellbound words, possession of the beggar and the king. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words, regarded as a complicated tool, created by man and implicated by mankind. Words, possession of the genius and the fool. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way, all words find and you can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, hear them. Words transmitted as graffiti from the start, received by Is you alive with words? Impression of the stupid and the smart. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words. Inside your head can come alive as they say. Softly, loudly, modestly, or proudly, words. Expression by the living and the dead. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. All words. Find them, you can use them. Say them, you can hear them. Write them, you can read them. Love them, do them.
A letter and a letter on a string. Possession of the beggar and the king. Regarded as a complicated tool. Obsession of the genius and the fool. Transmitted as revealed from the stars. Impression of the stupid and the smart. Inside your head you come alive as they said. Expression by the living and the dead.
Use them, say them, hear them, write them, read them, love them, fear them, find them, you can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, fear them, words. A letter and a letter on a string.
And lastly, we just want to welcome our rhythm section to the stage. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Okay, last tune is Don't You Worry About a Thing, Stevie Wonder. Enjoy.
Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Always reaching out in vain, just thinking of things now and then. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I was standing on the side when you check it out. Say it's not life's a drag, and that you must go other places. But just don't you feel too bad. Too bad, yeah. Faces.
Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it out. Till you get on.
appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Highland High School Auditorium. Before tonight's performance, we would like to offer the following audience etiquette reminders. First, please turn off all pagers, cell phones, and any other electronic devices that may cause noise and distraction during the performance. Second, for the safety of the performers, there should be no flash photography. Third, so as not to cause noise and distraction, we ask that you only enter and exit the auditorium in breaks between songs. Finally, we remind you that food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium, and that smoking is strictly prohibited anywhere on our campus. And now will you please rise for our national anthem as presented by the Highland High School Concert Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and rays where the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much for joining us for our concert tonight. We're so pleased to be able to welcome a live audience back to the auditorium, even if in a limited capacity this evening. For those of you watching us on the live stream on YouTube, this performance has been split up into two different portions. The first featured women's and men's chorale as well as Advanced Vocal Ensemble and began at 6 p.m. And this one is featuring Advanced Women's Chorale, Advanced Vocal, and the concert choir. We also have a brief award segment for each group and the traditional senior honors. Both performances can be viewed with the same link, and we encourage you to watch all of the choirs, as there is music for everyone, and each choir has done an amazing job preparing for tonight's event. Thanks for being here in live and in person with us. We appreciate it. Thank you for also helping us by following all of the Gilbert Public Schools guidelines while we're here. We appreciate you keeping your mask on at all times when you're in the building. And hopefully, as things start to improve, that might go the way of history here soon enough. So thanks for that. We appreciate it. We'll begin with Advanced Women's Chorale as soon as we take the stage. Thank you so much. This concert features a brief awards section in the middle of each choir. But before she leaves the stage, I just want to take a moment to recognize Miss Gilbert Harris. Gail played here for many, many years and retired a few years ago and was nice enough to come back and join us on our double piano piece. So we love having her back every now and then. Okay, each choir has a couple of awards that we give traditionally every year. Normally there's a Most Improved and Leadership Award, and quite frankly, I was sitting at home trying to decide who to give them to. And in the middle of one of the hardest years I think that has ever been in the history of choir, at least, these students are singing like that. And I don't know how to single one out. It really takes a lot of effort, and it really takes a lot of focus and joy and happiness and just good spirits every day to do that. And so I asked them if it would be okay if I didn't, because they all deserve it this year, and they said yes. Yeah. We would like to recognize our section coaches, and the section coaches this year asked actually if they could recognize someone. They're in that class every day, serving as assistant directors, really, logistics and music conducting even, playing piano, warming up. And so they would like to recognize one special individual from each of their sections tonight too. So we want to start off by recognizing our section coaches here. They are Miss Hattie Campbell, Hannah Ducasse, and Marin Grover. Please come on. And if you could stay up here so you can pass out the award. And they have chosen this year, one from each section, to honor Miss Caitlin Greer, Grace Gurr, and Kelly Hayden. Okay, students can letter in many activities at Highland as well. Sports, choir is one of them. It involves participating in outside of school activities, doing a lot of enrichment activities in school, all the things that we offer they can get points for, and once they reach a certain number, they letter. And we have one letter this year in this class, and that goes to Miss Hannah Andrews. We also had two students make the Arizona Central Region Choir from this class this year, and they are Hannah Andrews and Tessa Geigel. And Tessa, you can stay right there, because Tessa also made All-State. And then lastly, every other year, Highland puts on a musical, and it's really a giant undertaking. It involves the whole department and literally hundreds of people, and a lot of, 8 weeks, 10 weeks of time, and a commitment on the part of the students that's really gigantic. So we like to honor them, and we didn't get to last year because our show was closed a week before it was supposed to open. But we wanted to honor them on this concert. So we had one student from this class in our Oklahoma cast, and that was Maddie Lorgan. Come on down. Thank you. We're looking for it. It's probably in the other pile. I'll get it to you, I promise. It's somewhere. Okay. Next. You found it? Awesome. Come on down and get your award. Sorry. Okay, please enjoy our next piece. It's going to feature Grace Gurr on harp, and from the Highland Band program, Katrina White on flute and Haley Wilkerson on oboe. This is the Matt Goldberg arrangement of My Shepherd Will Supply My Need.
they shall clap their hands. You shall go out with joy.
Microphone 1, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 2, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 3, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 3, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 3, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 3, check.
Microphone 4, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 5, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 5.
Microphone 6, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 6.
Microphone 7, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 7, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 8, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 9, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 10, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 11, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 12, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 13, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 14, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 15, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 16, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 17, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 18, check 1, 2, 3. Microphone 19, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 20, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 21, check 1, 2, 3.
Microphone 22, check 1, 2, 3.
Humanity spellbound words, possession of the beggar and the king. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words, regarded as a complicated tool, created by man, implicated by mankind. Words, obsession of the genius and the fool. Everybody, every day, everywhere, in every way. Oh, words, find them, you can use them. Hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, hear them. Words transmitted as were fitted from the start, received by all, and we're sentenced to a life with words. Impression of the stupid and the smart. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words. Inside your head can come alive as they said. Softly, loudly, modestly, or proudly, words, expression by the living and the dead. Everybody, every day, everywhere, in every way, all words, find them, you can use
Possession of the beggar and the king, regarded as a complicated tool. Possession of the jaws transmitted as referred from the stars. Impregnant of the stupid and the smart. Inside your head could come one as the set. Expression by the living to the dead.
Use them, say them, hear them, write them, read them, love them, fear them, toy them. You can use them, say them, hear them, write them. You can read them, love them, hear them, words, a letter and a letter on a string.
We're going to finish out for you with a Stevie Wonder tune. This is Don't You Worry About a Thing. And thank you to Danielle and Robbie and Chad for sitting in for a rhythm section today. Glad to have you here.
Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Always reaching out in vain, just thinking of things knowing that. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it out.
You
Thank you. While we get the stage reset for concert choir and some kids do some uniform changes, we have just a few announcements for the end of the year. Student uniform return will be this upcoming Monday, like 3 days from now. Sophomores and juniors in concert choir should keep their uniforms for their baccalaureate performance on the 23rd of May, but all other students need to return their uniforms on Monday. All of the rented parts should be in the garment bag that we gave them with their name on it, and then just the hanger. They can drop it off before school, or they can come in and bring it in during their choir hour, but before school is probably better, so they don't have to carry it around all day. Next year's concert choir members have a retreat deposit due on Monday as well, in the amount of $65. If you haven't heard about that yet, that can be paid with tax credit through Infinite Campus. Please just remember to send us the receipt so we know to credit your student's account. That can also be paid on our school website, highlandchoir.com, or choir website, excuse me, highlandchoir.com with a credit card, or they can bring in a check for the booster box made out to HHS choir boosters. And lastly, our annual concert choir and Advanced Women's Chorale tour next year. We're planning to Washington, D.C. We're just waiting for approval from the school board. More information will be sent home about that as soon as we do get that approval, but just so that you know that that will be, our first deposit will be planned sometime in the middle of August, and we'll have some booster parents come in and talk to the kids next week about some fundraising opportunities that they might want to take advantage of over the summer to pay for that tour, because it is a larger one. If they already have money in their booster account, that will just automatically be debited for any costs that we have, so they don't need to turn in a form or a letter or anything. It's pretty much like a bank account. If there's a cost, it gets taken out. I just wanted to take a second and recognize any booster parents in the audience. I know that all of you are probably here. Would you mind standing for us really quick so that we can recognize all the hard work that you've done this year? Their names are in order, I think, here. Tammy Shorts, our president. Carrie Ann Barton. Carrie Ann Barton, who was in the last concert, our vice president. Jolynn Anderson, treasurer. Denise Brown, secretary. Denise was also our sound technician for the last group. Thanks, Denise. Michelle Menden, who does our lovely decorations every concert. Heather Wayman. Heather Wayman in charge of fundraising and Night at the Opera. Patty Arrington in charge of uniforms. She's here every concert, making sure everyone looks good. Harmony Turley, who does our publicity, our photos, and also our wonderful programs. Thank you, Harmony. And then our two members at large, Laura Madrell and Tiffany Campbell. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. We are looking for a few members for our booster board next year. If you're interested, please send me an email. I also have a few names that the boosters have given to me that we'll reach out to you and see if that might be something that would fit with your schedule next year. So thanks in advance for that. I also want to say, before concert choir begins, thank you to the HHS administration for all the support that you give us, and especially thank you to Mr. Crane, our auditorium manager, who makes us look and sound good, and whose job got immeasurably more complicated this year with all of the live stream stuff we have to do now. So thank you, Mr. Crane. We appreciate you too. And then, of course, my wonderful friend and colleague, Kelly Nuremberg. Please come out here. A good accompanist makes a choir. Thank you. We love you. Okay, I think, how are we doing back there, AV? We ready to go? Thumbs up. I got a thumbs up. Concert choir? Let's go. I just realized I think I skipped a booster member. Oh my gosh. Angela Dennison, are you in the audience? Are you here? I'm so sorry, Angela. Thank you very much. I thought I got everyone. I'm sorry. I didn't miss anyone else, did I? You did? Okay. Do you need a moment too? Wow, thank you. That's great. Okay, we have some awards in this choir. And there's a lot, because these are the biggest kids in the program. These are the kids that probably spend the most time on choir, along with advanced women. So thanks in advance for spending the time to recognize and appreciate all these wonderful students. If we could maybe wait for applause until we call the whole group in a certain category, that might work well as well. Okay? We want to make sure that it's a screen, it's okay. We want to make sure that we recognize our section leaders in this class. These are different than section coaches. Section coaches have signed up to take a class that they've already passed out of. The section leaders in this course are chosen, almost elected by the students in the class to help their own sections. So the section leaders in this class this year are Sophia Koutsajanis, Lindsay Stevens, Isabella Stewart. Come on down and get your trophy. Isabella Stewart, Anna Hogel, Zach Brown, Aiden Matthews, Harrison Maxwell, and Cody Johnston. Thank you for all your help. Thank you, section leaders. We appreciate you. Okay, next are students that have lettered in this choir, either this year or last year, or a combination of the two. The points accrue over many years. And those students are, come on down, Zach Brown, Hattie Campbell, Elise Craig, Amber Dennison, Hannah Ducasse, Joseph Duncan, Mason Gilliland, Marin Grover, Cody Johnston, Sophia Koutsajanis, Aiden Matthews, Harrison Maxwell, Sam Peterson, Lindsay Stevens, Hannah Whiting, and Marianne Wood. Letters are important. It's too hot in Arizona to own letter jackets, but letters are important. All right, we're going on to students who made the Arizona Central Region Choir this year, and those students are Amber Dennison, Marianne Wood, Hannah Ducasse, Greg Brown, Joseph Duncan, Nathan Gurr, Aiden Matthews, Sam Peterson, Reese Anderson, Mason Gilliland, Cody Johnston, and Harrison Maxwell. I tried. Okay, All-State. Those students are Amber Dennison, Marianne Wood, Hannah Ducasse, Greg Brown, Aiden Matthews, Sam Peterson, and Mason Gilliland. Come on down. Okay, we had a lot of students in this class for a cast of Oklahoma. Please come up and get your musical certificate. Those are Marianne Wood, Ado Annie, Harrison Maxwell, Judd Fry, Amber Dennison, Elise Craig, Lindsay Stevens, Isabella Johnson, Sammy Lurch, Leighton Miller, Sam Peterson, Josh Mower, Joseph Duncan, Aiden Matthews, Zach Brown, Jordan Gingell, and Greg Brown. Doing great, Mr. Nurnberg. Awesome. Okay, and lastly, this is, I think, one of the most important awards. Our last award is for four-year seniors. These are students that have been in choir all 4 years, and that gets harder and harder as more academic requirements are added to their workload, and also there's just a lot of options at Highland High, and we so appreciate the time that they've spent with us. All of these students are four-year members in choir here. Many of them are two-year members in the junior highs, either in Gilbert or another school. So thank you so much for all the time that you've given to us and to Highland. These are in alphabetical order, so if you line up in the order I call you, oh, never mind. They were in alphabetical order. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Ashley Cameron, Libby Carr, Victoria Cook, Trinity Decker, Hannah Ducasse, Joseph Duncan, Zoe Fowler, Anna Hogel, Cody Johnston, Sophia Koutsajanis, Sammy Lurch, Aiden Matthews, Harrison Maxwell, Porter Merrill, sorry, Brigham Schlick, Nicole Smith, Lindsay Stevens, Bella Stewart, Clayton Turley, Ryan Walker, Hannah Whiting, Marianne Wood, and Kylie Williams. Okay. And lastly, this evening, it's become a tradition over many, many years here at Highland that in all the music programs, at least, and I'm sure across the entire campus, we like to take a second and honor all of our seniors. Seniors make the world go round and make school what it is, and we just so appreciate them. So we'd like to read a little bit about each one of our graduating seniors this year and love on them a little bit, and we hope that you enjoy hearing about these awesome kids. First, senior bio, Ashley Cameron, come on down. Ashley is the daughter of Nicole and Kevin Cameron, and her older brother Cody also sang in choir. Ashley is a 4-year choir member, a 6-year Gilbert Golden Scholar, and loves to write short stories, which she hopes to publish someday. She will be attending Chandler Gilbert Community College next year, where she wants to study creative writing and criminal justice. She has a shout out to her best friends Zoe Fowler and Libby Carr, as well as her mom for always encouraging her, and her brother Cody for convincing her to join choir. Thank you, Cody. We owe you one. Libby Carr. Best friend is Ashley Cameron. Libby is the daughter of Jennifer and Jeff Rhodes. She's a 4-year choir member, an officer in Highland's National Honor Society, and I hear rumors that she's pretty famous. She's pretty famous on TikTok, where she has over 14,000 followers. That's a lot. Hopefully, she posts a link to our concert tonight. That'd be great. Libby plans on attending CGCC next year on a presidential scholarship where she'll be studying some form of law, probably environmental law. Libby has a shout out for her mom, stepdad, and her 5 sisters. Audrey Clough. Audrey is the daughter of Brigham and Camille Clough. She joined choir junior year and also played in cello in the HHS orchestra in 9th and 10th grade. Audrey is a 3-year Gilbert Golden Scholar in high school and a member of the HHS badminton team. She'll be attending BYU Idaho next year and plans to study nutrition. She has a shout out to her whole family for helping her through everything the last 4 years. Victoria Cook. Victoria is the daughter of Aaron and Jamie Cook. She's a 4-year choir member and has been playing cello in school orchestra since the 4th grade. She's also a 4-year Gilbert Golden Scholar, and is a member of the United Sound Program, and she'll be attending BYU Provo to study special education with an emphasis on severe disabilities. She also plays both piano and organ and loves to bake. She has a shout out to her parents for all their help and support. Trinity Becker. Trinity is the daughter. Firm handshake, I love it. Trinity is the daughter of Melody and Robert Decker. She's a 4-year choir member and has played violin in school orchestra since the 4th grade. She's been a Gilbert Golden Scholar every year since 7th grade and has been a member of the HHS Extra Mile Club, the Link Crew, and the Black Student Union. After graduation, she'll be shipping out to basic training, joining the Navy to eventually become a nuclear engineer. An interesting fact about Trinity, and I've personally witnessed this, she's a fantastic whistler. Taylor Drysdale. Taylor is the daughter of Chris and Kristen Drysdale, and her brother Travis sings in concert choir. Taylor transferred to HHS from Desert Ridge in her junior year, where she sang in the DRHS Women's and Advanced Women's Choirs. And she also played Gabrielle in Desert Ridge's production of the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Cinderella. She plans on taking a gap year after graduation and wants to eventually study to become a surgical technician. We're so glad that you joined us at HHS this year, Taylor. We love you. Hannah DeCass. Hannah is the daughter of Julie DeCass. She's a 4-year HHS choir member and also served as the 2nd soprano section coach in Advanced Women's Chorale this year. Hannah studies voice privately and was a member of the Arizona All-State Choir this year and was a Gilbert Golden Scholar all 4 years of high school. She's a member of Banner Hawks, the MedLife and Young Athena clubs, and will be attending the University of Arizona next year on a Wildcat Distinction Merit Scholarship, where she wants to study biochemistry and pharmaceutical sciences. She has a shout out to her mom for always supporting her and helping her get where she is today. Joseph Duncan. Joseph is the son of Brian and Crystal Duncan. He's a 4-year choir member and also served as bass section coach in men's chorale this year. He was a member of the HHS theater program all 4 years, was in the cast of both Wizard of Oz and Oklahoma, and is a 4-year Gilbert Golden Scholar as well. He was a member of the regional choir 3 years and also sang in the Arizona All-State Jazz Choir his junior year. After graduation, Joe plans to serve a mission for his church and wants to attend Northern Arizona University to study music education. He has a shout out to his parents for encouraging him, Aiden Matthews for being his first friend and helping him to sing better, and Mr. Hickman and Miss Schultz for inspiring him to want to teach music. Zoe Fowler. Zoe is the daughter of Michelle and James Fowler, and her brother James sings in men's chorale. Zoe is a four-year member of the HHS choirs and hopes to both serve a mission for her church after graduation. Zoe wants to study biology, computer engineering, or language in college. She has a shout out to her mom, her dad, and her sister Marlo for making music such a big part of her life. Delia Hintz. Delia is the daughter of Donovan and Kimber Hintz. She sang in the HHS choirs her freshman, sophomore, and senior years and has studied voice privately with Miss Scholes this year. She was a Gilbert Golden Scholar all 4 years, is currently the student body vice president on student council, and is on the leadership council for Highland's One Image Dance Company. After graduation, she plans on attending Central College in Pella, Iowa to study elementary education and wants to spend as much time as possible with her friends this summer before they part their separate ways. She has a shout out to all her family and friends for helping her get this far. Anna Hogel. Anna is the daughter of Stephanie and James Hogel. She's a 4-year member of the choirs and served as alto section leader in concert choir this year. She studied voice privately for 4 years, is a 4-year Golden Scholar, and is also quite artistic, including jewelry making and sewing, which she uses to upcycle clothes. After graduation, she plans on attending CGCC on a presidential scholarship, serve a mission for her church, and eventually attend veterinary school at Colorado State University. She has a shout out to both her parents for being iconic, and Haley and Callie for being the absolute queens they are. Cody Johnston. Cody is the son of Tammy and Tommy Johnston. He's a 4-year choir member and served as section coach in men's chorale for 2 years and bass sectional leader in concert choir this year. He's a member of the track team and physics clubs, was a member of the Central Region Choir multiple years and the Arizona All-State Choir his junior year, and has been a Gilbert Golden Scholar since 4th grade. Cody will attend ASU next year on a full-ride scholarship to study aerospace engineering. He has a shout out to his parents for being so supportive with his passion for sports and music, and to Harrison for being his number 2 and making all the great memories. Sophia Kutsajanis. Sophia is the daughter of Heather and Angelo Kutsajanis. She's a 4-year member of the choirs and served as soprano section leader in concert choir this year. She studied voice privately for almost 3 years, was a Golden Scholar all 4 years of high school, and was the FFA treasurer her junior year. After graduation, she plans on attending ASU on a presidential scholarship and will study biological science with an emphasis on genetics. She has a shout out to her mom for supporting her all these years, to her amazing voice coach and BFF, Miss Scholes, and the one and only Big Dog. I think according to an advanced vocal rehearsal one day, I'm Big Dog, right? Samantha Lurch. Sandy Lurch. Sandy's mom, Julie Daynard Lurch, also teaches at HHS. She's a 4-year member of choir and also played percussion in band her freshman year. She was a member of the cast in our production of Oklahoma last year, the badminton team, and she loves to travel. After graduation, she wants to serve a mission for her church and attend BYU Idaho to study business. Sammy has a shout out to her mom for being her biggest supporter and also all her soprano girls. Wow. Aiden Matthews. Aiden is the son of Joseph and Christina Matthews. He's a 4-year member of choir and served as tenor section coach in men's chorale the past 2 years, as well as tenor section leader in concert choir this year. He was a member of both the regional and all-state choirs multiple years, the all-state jazz choir last year, and was a member of our production of The Wizard of Oz in 2018. Next year, he plans on attending ASU on a presidential scholarship to study business economics. He has a shout out to Cody Cameron and Will Lee for inspiring him, to Zach, Sophia, Trinity, and Hannah for their friendship, and to his girlfriend Megan for her love and support. Harrison Maxwell. Harrison is the son of Jeff and Melissa Maxwell. He's a 4-year choir member and served as bass section leader in concert choir this year. Thanks. He is a multiple-year member of the regional, all-state, and all-state jazz choirs, and was in the ensemble of Wizard of Oz and played Jet Fry in Oklahoma last year. He's also been a member of NHS as well as the HHS Physics Club. Next year, he'll be serving a mission for his church and will attend BYU Provo to study engineering. He has a shout-out to all his family, friends, and his dog, Suki. Sydney Mendez. Sydney is the daughter of Mark and Michelle Menden, and her brother McKay also sang in the HHS choirs. She played cello in the Highland Orchestra, was on both the varsity soccer and track teams, and is also a Golden Scholar. After graduation, she'll be attending BYU Provo, and she's interested in studying graphic design and also wants to serve a mission for her church. She has a shout out to her mom and dad and her bestie Max for their love and support. Porter Merrill. Porter is the son of Linda and Chad Merrill. He's a 4-year choir member and Gilbert Golden Scholar. He loves music and playing the piano and is also learning to train horses. He will be attending BYU Idaho and wants to study bioinformatics and eventually pediatric pulmonology. I had to look up what bioinformatics was. And pediatric pulmonology, it's very cool. And also wants to serve a mission for his church. He has a shout out for his mom and dad for always being so supportive of him and the boys. Josh Mower. Josh is the son of Brian and Ruby Mower and transferred to Highland last year. As well as singing in choir, Josh was a member of the theater department, serving on the theater club board, as well as performing in the cast of Oklahoma. Next year, he'll be attending BYU to study mechanical engineering. Brigham Slink. Brigham is the son of Kristen and Jacob Schlink. He's a 4-year choir member and also played on the Highland tennis team. He's got quite a diverse set of hobbies, including, and I think I got a lot of these in here: forging, working on cars, archery, hunting, tennis, and he wants to study automotive mechanics, psychology, or maybe go into pediatrics. That is a well-rounded kid. It's awesome. He has a shout out to all his family and friends for being supportive through the years. Nicole Smith. Nicole is the daughter of Ron and Shelley Smith. She's a 4-year Golden Scholar as well as a 4-year choir member, thanks, son, and is involved in the Extra Mile Club, GC 105, and the Highland Blood Drive Committee. She also loves traveling and writing. She'll be attending the University of Arizona next year to study family and human development and eventually wants to become a family lawyer. Lindsay Stevens. Lindsay is the daughter of Christine and Jay Stevens. In addition to being a 4-year choir member, she also served as soprano section coach in women's chorale for 3 years and section leader in concert choir this year. She's been a Gilbert Golden Scholar since 5th grade, was in the cast of Oklahoma last year, and is also currently the president of Highland's Young Athena Club. She'll be attending ASU next year to study social justice and human rights with an eye toward continuing on to study human rights law, and also wants to go on a birthright trip to Israel. She has a shout out for her mom and dad, grandparents, and to all the gals she mentored in women's chorale. She loves you all so much. Isabella Stewart. Bella is the daughter of David and Annalisa Stewart. She's a 4-year choir member, thanks, and served as alto section leader in concert choir this year. She's also been a Gilbert Golden Scholar every year since 7th grade. Bella's quite the athlete and has been on the HHS basketball and track team and also plays competitive soccer. She's committed to the Utah University women's soccer team next year. She hopes to go into the microbiology, veterinary, or medical field someday, and also hopes to serve a mission for her church. Bella would like to thank her parents and siblings for their unconditional love and support, and also all her friends for making her life so much better. Clayton Turley. Clayton is the son of Chad and Harmony Turley, who also serves on our booster board, and his older sister Lyric sang in choir as well. He's a 4-year choir member and also played for 2 years in the Highland orchestras. He's a talented baseball player, playing on the HHS freshman and JV teams, and is also a pitching coach for Little League players. After graduation, he'll be working on pest control sales this summer in North Carolina and also hopes to serve a mission for his church. He has a shout out to his mom and sister Lyric for all their support and motivation. Ryan Walker. Ryan is the son of Vicki Workin and Chris Walker. He is a 4-year choir member and also served as tenor section leader in concert choir last year. He's a Gilbert Golden Scholar, is the NHS Community Service Chair, a member of the Math Club, and plays on the Highland varsity volleyball team. After graduation, he will attend Utah State University on a merit scholarship, wants to study mechanical engineering and eventually earn an MBA, and also wants to serve a mission for his church. Ryan has shout-outs for his parents, his siblings Seth, TJ, and Spencer, and also his friends Harrison, Cody, Nathan, and Aiden. Hannah Whiting. Hannah is the daughter of Brooke and Brent Whiting. She's a 4-year choir member, a Gilbert Golden Scholar, and has also played on the varsity soccer and track teams all 4 years. Next year, she'll be attending Utah State University on a merit scholarship for a year to possibly study data analysis, and then wants to serve a mission for her church. She has a shout out for her whole family, all her friends, and the goose of the 2018-19 Advanced Women's Choir. I want to hear that story on Monday. I'm interested about that story. The goose of the Advanced Women's Choir.
Like right now?
No, on Monday. Unless it's really funny, then you can tell it now. Okay, just kidding. Kylie Williams. Kylie is the daughter of Chantel and Solomon Williams, and her sister Chelsea also sings in concert choir and Advanced Women's Chorale. She loves animals, thanks, son, and was a member of Highland's FFA and wants to study veterinary sciences after graduation. She also loves sewing, reading, and learning random Disney facts. She has a shout out for her sisters, Chelsea and Emma. She says, good luck. And lastly, Marianne Wood. Mary is the daughter of Mike and Lori Wood, and her sister Elizabeth also sang in choir. She's a 4-year choir member, as well as playing cello and harp for 4 years in the HHS orchestras, and is a 4-year Gilbert Golden Scholar. Mary is also a multi-year member of the Regional Choir, Regional Orchestra, and All-State Choir, and was in our cast of The Wizard of Oz as well as Oklahoma, where she was the perfect Ado Annie. Next year, she'll be attending BYU Provo as a National Merit Scholarship finalist and recipient, and has been accepted into the Classical Vocal Performance Program. She also plans to minor in political science and attend law school after her undergrad degree. Mary wants to say a huge thank you to her family and to Mr. Hickman. Thank you. Congratulations to our 2021 seniors.
Thank you, and yay to the seniors! Woo! Okay, so just before we wrap up and sing Lord Bless and Keep You, we wanted to recognize two amazing people that you see here today. So we have Ms. Sternberg, our wonderful accompanist, and Mr. Hickman, our choir director. Woo!
Both of them for everything that they have done for us and everything they have done to make this year like our senior year, you know, and I think we all were bummed about COVID and about having to live with masks and having to be separated, and like Ms. Nuremberg and Mr. Hickman have helped so much with that, and we just want to appreciate them. So for Ms. Nuremberg, we got her flowers, and in the card, you will find a gift card to Starbucks.
And then we also had this gift from all concert choir to Mr. Hickman. It's a beautiful little painting. Oh goodness, sorry. A beautiful painting that's been signed by concert choir. There's us. Oh, so sweet. And then we just have a couple more gifts on our board.
Too short. Okay. So the other day in concert choir, Mr. Hickman made this really funny analogy about choir being like an octopus, and I really took that to heart, so I made an octopus for him. This is Ollie.
This year has been pretty crazy, and lots of things have changed up on us randomly and, out of the blue, but the one thing that has stayed completely consistent is Mr. Hickman and how he teaches, and we thought we should remember him forever. So basically, you can't see this audience, but we have some beautiful cardboard cutouts out here of, Elvis, Mr. Bitter, and such. And so we thought, who else? Yeah, Miss Scholes, yeah. So we thought, Mr. Hickman needs to be up there. So, there you are.
Ollie the octopus has music notes on him. He's handmade. That's really impressive. Thank you for that. These are great gifts. We appreciate it. Okay. Really quickly, Booster parents, we recognized you earlier, but if you could just pop up after the concert, we've got some thank you gifts for you up here too for all your service. Thanks, you make the world go round. Thank you to everybody that has helped in any way, shape, or form this year that I forgot to mention. This is a big program, and it's a lot of really great kids singing really well, and it takes a lot of work, and we just appreciate everything you do for us, so thank you. We're going to end tonight. Seniors, why don't you go back to your spots? We're going to end tonight with our traditional singing. This has been performed every year at the last concert that we've had a last concert since Highland opened in 1993. The Lord bless and keep you. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you next year. Thank you. Okay.